well. Oh my god. I think we're ready to go, guys. Welcome everybody to Alpha X Series 11. We're going to have two great players showing up today. It's going to be Chance and Zoun fighting for today's Alpha X Series. I'm hereby joined by my loyal co-caster Fequel S and May, and I think we're about to be ready to go. Oh, and thank you very much, Reality, for the sub. So, how you doing, my friend? Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Are you ready to go?
I think I'm ready to go. Players are ready to go, so we're gonna hop on in.
Oh,
Game is loading
yeah.
up.
Even faster than me.
Well, looks like we're gonna take it off here. Would you like to introduce our first player here?
Of course. Here we are, spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Is the Protoss player playing for Alpha X. It is Zoun.
And spawning in the top left corner, sporting the green color, also playing as Protoss. It is the Archangel Gaming player, Chance.
New team just being created like a week ago. So
Yeah. I was looking at that, and it was like April 6th or something, so fresh new team, Chance, one of their premier players.
yeah, it's actually interesting because Chance is a very young player. It's not really accomplished yet, but he's already making a name for himself. So a bit like Zoun, right? I think they are about the same age. I think they are 21 and 22 actually. So it's very nice to see these very young players starting to compete for GSL spots.
Yeah, definitely, and getting into the scene and making sure that this game stays alive.
Yep. And we already see a little bit of a weird pathing out of Zoun's probe. I think he wants to make the second pattern in a little bit of a hidden spot without actually proxying anything too big.
Yeah, I remember seeing this a lot in some recent tournaments. It's not even that you're going to put a proxy anywhere on the map. It's that putting that second pylon there throws off the other player, and they have to respect it. They have to kind of scout, or if they don't scout, at least prepare for the option of oracles coming in or a robo push or something like that.
Well, by now, Chance definitely knows there is something off in Zoun's build loader. He doesn't see the second pylon. He's trying to look for it everywhere in Zoun's main base. He won't look for that hidden spot in the bottom part of the map. I don't think he will actually ever go scout there because it's not a very good proxy location. I mean, one thing that it's actually interesting is that if Chance wanted to proxy a target, that will have been the place. So if Chance wants to actually proxy his target, I don't think that Zoun will have it unscouted. Not for long, at least.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good point, right? So that pylon kind of serves a dual purpose. One, it's scouting to make sure that Zoun knows if Chance is proxying, but two, it also plays that little mind game on Chance.
And we already see a lot of green and red dots on the map. Chance, stalkers and probes looking for something, while Zoun is actually not done with putting stuff on random points in the map. I think this probe little here is up to no good, and I don't think Chance actually saw it, just barely, I think.
Yeah, Chance would have had to have been paying very close attention to the minimap because the probe only had a glimpse of it for a split second.
Also,
a little bit of pressure coming out here.
Yeah, it's just the usual pressure. 4 stalkers. Okay, 2 probes are actually being called in here to be able to devolve some attention from the stalkers. It won't actually happen, but good macro out of Zoun will save one of his stalkers. Now the 2 sentries are done. Defender's advantage will kick in. I mean, 1 sentry goes down for Zoun. It was the lowest energy one, but still overall, just looking at the resource loss tab, I think it was a pretty good trade for Zoun.
Yeah. I mean, he lost 1 Stalker and 1 Sentry for 3 Stalkers. I mean, like you said, losing the Sentry kind of hurts, but that was the one that made the hallucinated Phoenix earlier, so
Yeah.
it was pretty low on energy anyway.
Oh, and it looks like Chance finally found the hidden pylon. So I think he's okay with not doing actually anything. 2 Adepts actually getting into the main of Zoun. This is no bueno for our Protoss in red. Of course, these Adepts are going to be whooped in the main base of Zoun as quick as possible. 2 probes will go down. The Adept will escape, but it's perfect scouting information right now for Chance. And Zoun needs to go do something himself. 1 shield battery is gonna keep 1 sentry alive. It looks like Zoun is just gonna walk home empty-handed. And he knows there is a robo, but he does not know +1 ground weapons is already being researched by Chance.
Yeah, that's a pretty early upgrade at this point in time. I think we should definitely give Zoun the shout out for having that fast reaction time of making those 2 Adepts to prevent anything more than 2 probes going down in his main.
Chance scouting with a hallucinated Phoenix himself. He's gonna be finding everything. A very good scouting by Chance this game. He's gonna also see the army of Zoun moving through the map. I think there is 1 immortal. Oh gosh, hallucinated stalkers.
Yeah, no, I think this is actually brilliant here to make it just look like his army is a little bit bigger. There's no observer here, so Zoun isn't gonna know that this is the case. He's gonna have to kind of play a little bit safe here, which is giving Chance a little bit of time.
There is a War Prism out for Zoun, there is not for Chance, not yet. The micro advantage is for the red Protoss player, and the units are dealing a ton of damage right now. Perfect force fields from both sides, but the one of Zoun are just a little bit better. Not even trying to kill the immortal, just kill everything else first. And it is working out well for the red Protoss. Is losing some probes back home, but this War Prism is in danger. The immortal is almost down, and it actually doesn't go down yet. So many probes are falling. 1 good warping into the natural of Chance from Zoun. So many probes are falling, and finally the immortal goes down. I think Zoun has done it, and this is PvP, my friends. Zoun gets game 1 of the series.
Yeah, amazing push there. Not getting scared off by those hallucinated stalkers, and unfortunate for Chance, those 2 did get trapped behind the force field, so they couldn't actually tank any of the damage. Really well played by Zoun.
So we had the first map for today. So we're waiting for Chance to choose the second map. And so guys, thank you very much for joining. We're just at game 1. Looks like Chance wants to go to Everdream in game 2. And let's just get there as soon as possible. We're going to get, I think, what is going to be a pretty short series. I don't think like PvP can get that much long these days.
Yeah.
Especially on Everdream, I don't really expect none of the players to want to go for the long run. Because once you get on 3 bases on Everdream, it's very hard to push into the mining bases. So
yeah, for sure. I think especially with like the state of PvP right now, it kind of ebbs and flows. When the game first started out, back in Wings of Liberty, it was just 4 gates everywhere, and then things kind of moved a little bit and got into a little bit more macro play. But most recently, it's been a lot of these aggressive 1 to 2 base games. So, you want to kick us off here for introducing our players?
Of course. This time, I want to start in the top right hand corner, spawning as the green Protoss, and from Korea, playing for Archangel Gaming. It is Chance.
And in the bottom left, representing Alpha X, it is your red Protoss player, none other than Zoun.
Okay, the production tab race actually just started. We have players doing everything pretty much at the same timing. Not gonna differ for quite a while. I really like that Zoun is checking anyway for a cannon rush before doing anything else. It's actually something I really like out of Protoss players, but Chance probe is actually very early.
Yeah, he's coming over to sniff something out, maybe, or you know, maybe he's gonna feign something. We'll have to find out when that probe rolls up. Doesn't look like it's taking a weird path to any secret spot quite yet.
Yeah, he just went straight forward into the main of Zoun. Like, it's a very early scouting. I mean, Pylon is in the main for Zoun.
Yeah, so nothing too special coming out of either players quite yet. Chance being a little bit annoying, denying some of the mining.
It looks like he just was a little bit of an earlier scouting. Chance paying a lot of respect to his opponent, really respecting his early game, it seems like. So he just wanted to go for the safest route as possible.
Yeah.
Zoun also going to see everything that is happening right here. I think he wants to keep his probe alive to check the first 2 units, because his Stalker Sentry against double Adept of his Pylon.
Now, Chance did this last game too, and I really like it, just kind of leaving a little spotter pylon. He wasn't able to put it on the high ground this game, but having it there just to know what the first 2 units are from the Protoss player.
You won't be able to see it. Zoun did good hiding those, but right now 2 Adepts are going through the map. Zoun needs to be prepared with his probe, and Chance is expanding a little bit earlier, like just a second, and he's making more Adepts actually. So, okay, Zoun is ready with the probe. Adepts will not shade into the main, will be in this corner over here. Meanwhile, Zoun sending an hallucinated Phoenix through the map to check what his opponent is up to. No tech yet out for Chance, while we already have a Twilight Council for Zoun. I'm thinking Blink.
A little bit. Yeah, I definitely. That's what I would lean towards in this matchup. I don't think we're going to see any DTs this game, but it's always an option when you see the Twilight Council. We should point out that at this point, Chance did have to recall his 2 Adepts out. He got him kind of stuck behind those Stalkers.
And Chance is not actually going for a Twilight Council for Resonating Glaives, but he has already 8 Adepts right now. That's a pretty healthy number. And Adepts are very good against Immortals. So, I mean, no Robo is out yet for Chance, for Zoun, sorry. But yeah, you cannot force field these Adepts out of the fight. They can just shake through. And that's a lot of Adepts. Like, if they can get into the main, this is like a little bit like a PvZ build right now. Of course, these forces were pretty much perfect. The Adepts will shake through it, but so many of them will actually die.
He's gonna let these Adepts finish.
Yeah. He's in the main of Zoun. So many probes are falling left and right. Kind of unexpected from Zoun, I guess.
Yeah, 14 workers go down. I would say that is exactly the kind of damage that Chance was looking for here. Still forcing Zoun to stay back in his base with those Adept Shades.
Yeah, it's 23 workers to 36 for Chance right now. It's actually getting a little mind-dumbing as far as advantage go. Like, I don't think Zoun has a chance to recover from this unless he deals critical damage to his opponent in the next few minutes. Sentry almost falls as well.
Yeah, he's gonna have to make some amazing Blink Stalker plays here. Blink is about to finish, along with +1 just kind of started. We'll see if he waits for that to make a push. But like you said, he's been set pretty far back.
And Chance is actually moving out. Not even Defender's Advantage can save Zoun right now. He needs to just straight up outplay his opponent. But I don't even think if there is a micro potential to do that. It's just a lot of army for Chance.
Yeah, with the Immortals and the Sentries there, this is going to get really dicey for Zoun.
There is one shield battery over here, but gosh. Chance is just going to enforce his location with this Warp Prism as much as possible unless he falls down. Very aggressive blink for Zoun. But the Warp Prism stays alive. Right now into the natural of Zoun, there is nothing to fight. These probes are gonna be called into the fight, but they're locked between Force Fields and Nexus. This army of Chance is fighting on two sides and winning on both. The Warp Prism actually falls to the Stalkers, blinking forward, but 7, 11 probes, 12, and counting. The army supply of Zoun plummets down, GG gets cold, and Chance ties up the score.
Yeah, that was that's a really scary adept push that he did there.
That was very, very rough for Zoun. God, that wasn't like the best display of defense there, but as you said, that push was very, very scary. I have no clue how to deal with that, as Zerg figured as Protoss will be even harder actually, so yeah. Well done by Chance. Also actually eating very early.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about that timing, I think, is that it comes a little bit late, right? Zoun had his probe there to drop the shield battery to block the first two adepts out.
Yeah.
But then the follow-up coming in with it was like 6 or 8 of them, I think was just really brilliant, because you're not quite ready for that. You know, you're expecting the army to show up, not 6 adepts.
Of course. Like, you actually are there just with your units. You think, okay, if he tries to shade back in, I have my units ready. But yeah, as you said, you cannot expect 8 adepts to show up at your doorstep like that. But Zoun has to forget that loss as quick as possible, because we're now on to game 3 here on Simulacrum, and spawning in the top left hand corner is the blue Protoss, changing colors this time, playing for Archangel Gaming. Hailing from Korea, it is Chance.
And in the bottom right, we have, representing Alpha X, your red Protoss player trying to recover from that last game, it is Zoun.
So once again, both Chance and Zoun. Actually, Chance is going for a very early scout again. Is he going for a scout? Or is he hiding his probe? And looking for the path? But yeah, I don't find actually anything. I think he's going just for an early scout. Zoun isn't though.
Yeah. He's sending his probe. I think he's sending his probe to go look for things. It looks like Chances is kind of tagged to a mineral walk into the main of Zoun.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we're going to see the same kind of thing come out, right? I wonder if there's something that he's checking for, if he's looking at the gas count, or something to indicate to him, okay, this is the time where I'm going to do this push, or if he's just trying to get a read on his opponent.
I think you're right on both things, actually. Like, I don't think you want to send 8 adepts out if your opponent's second pylon is not in his main base. Just for, like, being as safe as possible. Because Zoun is actually proxying a Stargate in a very scary location. Chance also looking for a pylon hidden in the natural. Simulacrum has a pretty big natural, so it's quite a common play to hide pylons between the natural and the third base, but Zoun isn't doing that. He has a Stargate in the middle of the map. Chance,
oh, this...
well, yeah.
Yeah, this probe from Chance that's going up here is going to go right into that Stargate and see it on the top side.
Perfect scouting for Chance.
Yeah.
And that looks already pretty rough for a red Protoss player. Chance will see the Oracle being warped in from this Stargate, but he will have Stalkers back home and probably also Shield Battery to help with that. Stalkers here to deal with the pylon. Well, Oracle will not go through.
Oh, he lets the Shade finish. I don't. That was an interesting choice. He is going to pick off a couple workers with it.
He also going to lose one of the adepts, though. I'm not too sure Zoun got anything too good for him right now. Yeah, he loses one adept for 2 probes. I'm not sure that was actually enough for him. Robo in the main, but Chance is making a Tala Council and already has 4 Stalkers out. Well. Well, I would like very much to have a translation for that bit, but...
Yeah.
Okay, it looks... Yeah, okay, so the bar TV was translating it. Like, you're coming out fast was... Oh, yeah, okay, now I see it. Okay, let me think.
Yeah.
Okay, so Blink is on the way for Chance. He's going to recall his Stalkers back home. I think it was a pretty wise choice right here. Zoun is going to expand just now. Chance has already had his Nexus out. But Chance, I think he has quite a good army to move out once Blink finishes. He just has to wait a little bit. I don't think he's chrono boosting it. Yeah, he isn't. But this game is already looking pretty rough for Zoun right now. Legendary Phoenix is going to get everything happening into the main of Zoun.
Yeah,
while
full
the Red
information.
Protoss, yeah, is just completely blind about the main base of his opponent.
Oh, and this Phoenix gonna see the Warp Prism coming across too, so Chance is gonna be able to get in a perfect position. Zoun wise enough to know to move his Warp Prism out of the way so it doesn't get picked off by Stalkers.
Okay, one Illusionary Phoenix will finally see what's happening in Chance's main base. He'll seize the lack of a robot and just one being made right. Actually, no robot is being made right now.
No robot quite yet. Yeah, just the Blink coming out.
Just
plus
a blink.
1.
Oh my god, this Warp Prism is so low. One Stalker is gonna keep chasing it, but I think the Warp Prism will eventually survive this long and rough chase.
Yeah.
While Chance is actually walking through the map, but there is one. Oops. Sorry about using old chat over there. Chance is moving out with his Stalkers. Zoun has 1 Immortal out. That's probably going to be enough as well as the Shield Battery, but that's a lot of Stalkers actually. Okay, it looks both the sentries will be sniped out. One of them actually survives. Chance not really losing much right now. He doesn't have a Warp Prism to reinforce his location though. That's pretty important. 2 Immortals out for Zoun.
I think that's going to be enough, and sure enough it is to kind of push this back. Hallucinated Phoenix could come in and scout again. Another one flying into the main. But the 2 Immortals with the shield battery there should be plenty. The real question is whether or not these Stalkers are going to get another hallucination and blink into the back.
That is totally possible. Hallucination over here. The Stalkers not really blinking out yet. Zoun doesn't see the hallucination. He sees it now. The probes are under attack in the natural of Zoun. But Chance is not really making the blink yet. Zoun splitting his army in 2. And I think that's what Chance was looking for. But right here we have both the Immortals. And Chance cannot break it.
Yeah, I think that was a really, really smart play by Chance. Sending the Adepts in there to try to bait the army to come down. Hope that your opponent F2s. But we got a little bit of Stalkers trading blows here, blinking forward and back. All in all,
I think Chance got away with a pretty interesting advantage over here, just in the means of tech. Chance is trying to expand to his fur base, but I don't think this will ever go up. There is no shield battery there, and there won't be any shield battery for quite a long time. There is one Archon already. Archons are very good in this matchup. Well, Archons are very good, period. Oh, this choke point though, not a really good idea from Zoun. Of course, it is going to get force filled out. And Zoun has to find another way into the third base location. Since they changed Simulacrum with this new structure over here being added to form a choke point, it has also become a lot harder to push into the third base. But I think Zoun just has a little bit too much. There are 3 Archons out right now for chance. 3 Archons, very, very scary. The Immortals are going to be force-fielded out of the rest of the army of Zoun. And right now they're under attack and they're going to fall. Key units going down for the Red Protoss player. 1 Archon will die, the other is very, very scarred, and he will go down indeed. 1 Immortal survives for Zoun. There is a Warp Prism to enforce the location and to help these Stalkers stay alive without blink. But right now Chance is losing all his key units, while Zoun is adding up more and more Stalkers by the minute. Blinks forward, using it to kill the remaining army of Chance, and the blue Protoss has nothing standing for him. Zoun gets game 2, perfect defense and perfect offense.
Yeah, very well played. Once he kind of held off that blink pressure, he knew that the timing was over. He's like, okay, I've got the Immortals. I think he was up to 4 at the point that he pushed, maybe 5. And yeah, really good read of the situation. He's like, okay, now that you're done with your little push, I'm going to make my push and take it away.
Okay, so the 4th map will be Eternal Empire. But before we go into that, guys, I just want to talk about one of the sponsors that help us keep alive. I want to talk about G Fuel a little bit, the official drink of esports. Since 2004, G Fuel has been provided top gamers. A Dr. Disrespect, you may know him for his Fortnite efforts, as well as PewDiePie, with energy, focus and endurance. They've just released their new flavor as well. Caster's Gava is the name, I'm told. So, paying tribute to the streamers Castro, Mexican streamer, if you don't know about him. So, guys, it's a limited edition. I think these are the kind of stuff that gamers live for. You want to stay awake in your long night session and have something tasty and good for your nerves to accompany you into your journey for your gaming session. And G Fuel is one of the sponsors that is helping this particular gaming session staying alive, of course, through putting money straight up into the prize pool. So guys, just want to thank one of our best sponsors already, and hope we can work with them a little bit more in the future. But it's time for another game.
Yeah, G Fuel has been a wonderful sponsor, not just for this event, but for a whole bunch of events, like you're saying. Huge to esport. You mentioned PewDiePie and some of those other key esports folks, and we can't thank G Fuel enough for all the contributions that they make and helping keep these kinds of tournaments alive.
And it's what we live for, guys. Okay, no, it's not 9. Wait, oh my god. Okay, the score is finally right. It took a while. Here we are on Eternal Empire, spawning in a bottom left hand corner as the Red Protoss. It is playing for Alpha X, Zoun.
And in the top right, gonna try to tie the series up this game. We have our blue Protoss player representing Archangel Gaming, none other than Chance.
Once again, I cannot really stress enough that these two players are extremely young. Like, so clever in their plays, so good in their micro. Like, it's always a trick for the eyes to see like young players perform this high level, especially in Korea, where it's a little bit harder to emerge due to so many good players being there already.
Yeah, definitely. And
I'm attempting to reconnect.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of we're waiting on you.
Oh my god.
If you can't reconnect, I can go ahead and share screen and you can go from there through Discord.
Of course. Like, I mean, this is very weird right now. Okay.
Looks like we're good.
Okay. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
I have
So
no clue
Probst
why
is
that
gonna.
happened. I'm sorry. Italian
It's
internet. Yeah.
it's the stress of everybody being cooped up inside and having to use all of that the internet. It's all used up because of the current situation the world finds itself in.
Also, it's 8 a.m. here, so it might be that like it works a little bit worse, like because of the hour. So I don't know. Let's go back into the game. Let's not think about that.
Yes.
Well, it is young for Korean standards, Incubus.
For sure.
There are not that many Korean GSL contenders for that young of an age. Of course, you may think, okay, there's Maru. Yeah, but Maru is Maru, right? Like most of them are like 25, 26, so it's a little bit harder over there. We have a Stargate play coming for Zoun. This time into his base though.
So looks like Depth's both walking across, but these stalkers are going to be here to intercept. Very good game sense by Chance, knowing exactly where to put these. And the real question, oh yeah, he's on top of these immediately. And the probe is already at home. 2 sentries waiting as well.
One of that will actually fall. That is huge for Chance, since these adepts cannot really make anything right now. He will get one probe, but it's not really what he was looking for.
Yeah, I think Chance will gladly take that trade. Okay, he lost the probe that was building the Nexus down there, but he killed off one of the adepts and made sure that no other damage could occur in his mineral line. So very well played. Now we do see more adepts starting to pool up from Zoun this time. We'll see if there's going to be a little tit for tat kind of action where he sends in his delayed adept push along with an oracle.
And I'm loving Chance scouting right now. This hallucinated phoenix will catch the oracle moving in the middle of the map, as well as the probe on the watchtower. This oracle will not find any damage as long as Chance has this much vision. Zoun with adepts sharking for everything that is denying him vision, but oh my god, this hallucinated phoenix is also going to see the second oracle. This is perfect scouting for Chance.
Yeah, and that's pretty big, knowing that your opponent went for the 2 oracles. He's not going for some sort of Phoenix transition afterwards. It's a little bit, it's not a huge commitment to make those 2 oracles, but definitely looking to try to get some damage done here. And the adept's powering down that pylon, getting into the main.
Yeah, there is one shield battery, but shield battery won't help these probes to stay alive. Oracles and adepts will one-shot them. 9 probes will fall down, as well as 1 stalker and 9 probes, and a lot of adepts will actually survive the battle. There's 1 immortal on the way as well for Zoun. This 1 oracle will stay alive for further scouting, but the adepts will shade back into the main once more, cancelling the shade. I think overall was the better choice for Zoun. So
yeah, I think very wise decision to keep those units alive. He is just kind of keeping Chance pinned into his base here with these adepts. And that 1 adept and 1 oracle going down for I think 10 probes in that engagement there, something like that. Very well done by Zoun.
The other oracles 14 GSL Codes was like 10 plus players, less than 20. Yeah, but like 2014 the game was like 2 years old, so it made more sense for a lot of young players emerging, and still the older players were the one actually doing all the work. Like right now, the average age of GSL is pretty higher than 21 and 22. Trust me. So what were you saying, my friend?
Oh no, I'm just looking. It looks like Chance is going to try to make a little bit of a poke here. Thank you for addressing chat though. It was a good read there. Try to make sure that we're responding to all that stuff and keeping engaged with the
Yeah,
community.
it's also an interesting point, the one Incubus made, like the age in GSL has actually, the average age has actually grown quite a bit. But
Yeah.
there is a very, oh my god, he stays his word. He's gonna
Trapping
take
6 stalkers.
7
Now,
stalkers. Oh my god.
yeah, Blink is done, but you know, we'll see. The force fields can go down, and the Immortals can pick off 1 or 2.
Yeah, Chance will not commit the shade while losing a couple probes back home to one of the shades out of Zoun. And goodbye, Stalkers. Immortals don't play games.
Yeah, very well done. And this Warp Prism actually sneaking past right before the Stalkers made their way up there. Good job by Zoun. He's gonna look to make some more damage happen as the Warp Prism makes its way up north. But we have the engagement here. Stalker's gonna poke and pull back, realizing that they can't take on 2 Immortals with a shield battery and all those Adepts and Sentries. Another great spot here. I love the use of these stasis traps by Zoun.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those spots where the Stalkers would want to blink. Now he has the server. Units just kind of poking each other a little bit there. Oh, 2 of the Adept Shades do finish here. We're going to have 2 probes. Is a 3rd going to fall? Not quite. Oracle being in position to help take those down.
Also, a pretty good scouting for Chance. I don't think he saw the Templar Archives though.
Yeah, looking at his vision, he did not. Well, yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, he did. Well, that was very, very close. Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay, Templar Archives is coming for Chance as well. We have a photon cannon also for defense into the natural. Yes, into the natural, as well as a bunch of shield batteries. Chance is scared, and he has all rights to be so. Zoun expanding to his third base while Chance is pretty much going to expand now. But defending that location is a whole another beast.
Yeah, I do like the decision that Chance made. You know, he started up the photon cannon, a couple shield batteries at his front, but as soon as he scouted that Nexus with his hallucinated Phoenix, he canceled all of those structures and threw that money into making a Nexus of his own.
I didn't
very
actually
smart.
check that, but I think it was a very interesting play, as you said. Like, very, very clever.
Yeah.
Also, Zoun, pretty strong army right now, but he cannot really move out as long as these Blink Stalkers threaten a Blink into the main. Of course, he can move out and just deal with his opponent. Oh my god.
His Immortal's getting caught a little bit alone, but all these Stalkers are going to get a little bit surrounded.
Oh, and one Archon leading the charge is not what Zoun wanted. This Archon falls down for a little bit less than Zoun was actually looking for. One more Archon finding himself in quite a weak spot, but this time the Stalker count is very much lower. These Stalkers will blink away, trying to get the Warp Prism, will not manage to do so, and Charge Lots will deal with the stragglers.
Yeah, really smart play. Like you said, that Archon came in at just the right angle. You know, Zoun knowing to open up his Warp Prism, warp in 2 Zealots in the Archon there to try to trap those Stalkers. But then, yeah, almost getting a little green and almost losing that Prism to the blink from those Stalkers.
Once again, the Archon count can make a difference, but it is even. Zoun going through the choke point and actually managing to sneak in all of his key units. 4 Immortals and 4 Archons fighting right now at Chance's rally point. And this time, I don't think the Blue Protoss will have enough Archons falling down for Chance, while the ones of Zoun are actually very healthy. The Immortals as well. GG is the only way out for Chance, and Zoun 3-1, 2-point lead right now, looking crazy good into this series.
Yeah, that will bring Zoun up to 3-1 like you're saying. So, you know, Chance is going to have to make some magic happen here. Try to pick up a couple games of his own and even out the score.
Also, it's actually the second time in a row I think Chance had a little bit of a better early game and actually didn't manage to hold the mid-game power of Zoun. So it's very interesting how I think that this will be the leitmotif of the whole series. I think that Chance has the early game, while Zoun will try to make it work as later as possible, because I think he just has the better late game potential.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, wait.
Oh. Yep.
Okay, I exited the lobby.
Yeah. Yeah, no, good call. Let me repaste that in here for you.
Yeah, sure. Well, it happens, right? But before going into this game, I just want to have one little quick thing going on. I'm going to go into Alpha X. Wait a moment, sorry. Yeah, like this. I'm going to go into our stream. Type over here. I'm going to go into our stream. Wait a moment. Type exclamation mark match arena to bring up this little link over here. We'll click on it, and I hope many of you will do it as well, because just by signing in with whatever method you find more comfortable and clicking on contribute, you can just paste this little code over here, click on contribute, and boom, 50 cents will be added to the prize pool for free, just using 30 seconds of your time, guys. We will appreciate it very much if you could spare some seconds out of the stream to just contribute to the prize pool and help these players grow and make their efforts worth it.
Yeah, I mean, these players are playing for us right now, so just make sure you give them a little bit of love, send them that little bit of financial boost, and it's completely free to you. Although if you would like to, there are plenty of things you can contribute more money. You can go in there and check out some of the Alpha X swag to buy, as well as you can pay for the replay packs. So support these players in any way you can in these tough times. You want to kick off the announcement of our first player here?
I will let you do it, my friend.
Okay, well, supporting, or representing rather, Alpha X, we have our blue Protoss player spawning in the top right-hand side of Zen. Up 3-1, we have Zoun.
And in the bottom left-hand corner instead, playing for Archangel Gaming, another Korean Protoss, he is Chance. Currently 2 points behind in this best of 9 series. He has to make it work. He needs to win this game, otherwise it will be a very, very rough going for the rest of the series for him.
Yeah, there have been, I guess this wouldn't be a true reverse all kill, but, being down 3 games in a series, people have recovered from something like that, but it takes a lot of mental fortitude.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
do that kind of thing.
I've seen very little players actually have the nerves to actually do that. And I like this little move by Chance, hiding a pylon inside his own main. Zoun will look for it and will find it. No big deal for him. So overall,
Yeah,
just like the fear factor,
Yeah, it's like you're saying, just the little plays here and there to just kind of throw your opponent off, make them think like, okay, what's going on? Do I need to panic and get them off their game? All of that stuff adds up a little bit. So
Chance is also going to lock 2 probes out of the main base of Zoun, while actually being able to see also the first 2 units coming out of these 2 gateways. It's going to be double stalkers for Zoun, the safety route, while Zoun will also see these 2 adepts making their way through the map. Zoun trying to intercept them.
The mind games here. So Zoun, okay, we'll talk about this. So okay, having to recall these adepts out.
Yeah.
Chance thinking, okay, I saw these stalkers, they're gonna try to find me in the middle, tries to go up and around, but Zoun, realizing that that's probably what Chance is gonna do, makes his way up there to catch the adepts walking out of the way, and got those adepts caught out in the open, forcing the recall.
I actually love that you highlighted this, because I was thinking exactly the same. That was such a clever play out of Zoun, being able to read into the mind of his opponent and just do exactly what he was about to do, getting one adept, forcing a recall, And now he can move through the map. And this is incredible scouting information. Recall is also going to save all of these stalkers. Zoun with the perfect moves this game.
Yeah, and those stalkers were able to see this huge army of adepts. At this point, we are up to 8 adepts marching their way across the map. Now, there's 4 stalkers and 2 sentries here. We'll see if Chance
exactly
gets as much
the
damage
same
done.
as game 2 right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think Zoun has learned his lesson.
Yeah, he's got a probe in place this time, ready to drop the block. And
Also,
no workers
no
down
probes
at the
in.
natural.
Yeah, exactly. I was pointing that especially. No workers in the natural, no units over there. This shield battery is under attack. Yeah, that's will try to shape through, but they won't find their way. There is one building. Yeah, that's will shape through trying to block to go past the pylon, but a perfect force field will prevent it. Zoun once again, perfect moves at a perfect time, and this is just a slaughterhouse of adepts in that choke point.
Yeah, those are some really great plays there. I mean, I always in my head just assume that adepts can get through force fields, but the fact that it's, not the shade, right? You get the structure there to block the shade, then the force field follow up. Very well done by Zoun.
Zoun will lose a couple probes over here, but I think he is okay with that as long as he has a bunch of stalkers through the map to gain more scouting information. There is one immortal out already for Chance. I will not say Zoun is perfectly fine right now. Army supply is in his advantage. He has a shield battery in the main for defense. The force field slightly miss. Zoun has to use a little bit more energy than he was actually thinking to lock these 2 adepts over here, but 2 adepts into the main of Chance are going to be dealing some damage. One immortal gets actually dropped into the main of Chance, but the damage has been done. 3 probes will die for free, and Zoun will walk through the map. Resonating Glaives is on the way for Chance, and that is going to be a very, very important upgrade if he manages to finish it.
Yeah, and we see the Warp Prism's kind of playing tag here. Neither of them really able to do anything, but they track each other, and that's one thing both players want to know.
None of them has a stalker in it. I think that's
exactly.
funny.
I think there's a sentry in one of them maybe, but that's just going to kind of tickle the Warp Prism for a little bit.
So Immortals and Warp Prism, name a more iconical duo right now. Chance having this Warp Prism walking around finding some damage will not have them back home to deal with the Soldiers, but the force fields are going to be doing their job, as well as the actual shield batteries. This one Immortal, 1 HP, literally 1 HP. Oh my god. And that's huge for Chance.
Yeah, and those are the moments as Zoun where you're just like, oh, how did that not die? Very, I think I would say that was luck. While these players are very skilled, 1 HP is a little bit too close to.
Sometimes there is the need of some luck to win some of those games. And Chance has made so many gateways right now. How many does he have? Like, he's going to be having 6 of them. Oh, okay, Zoun is making even more though. He has his Templar Archives down, but Chance has Resonating Glaives Adepts.
And we'll have to see if these Adepts sitting in the Warp Prism in the bottom left are going to come in and do anything. They were scared off by Stalkers early, but the Stalkers have left. Okay, Zoun just going to kind of fly out with them. Not trying to make any damage happen, but we do have a big push coming across with the 3 Immortals. Warp Prism warping in even more of these Adepts that do have that Resonating Glaives up there.
Have you seen that hallucinated Warp Prism putting the army of Zoun out of place? And right now the force fields are just all over the place for Chance. Zoun needs to keep his units behind. He cannot fight it, but these Adepts will shape through. The Nexus in the natural is down. Zoun trying to stand his ground, but this hold will not happen. Chance gets game number 5 and it's back to just 1 point disadvantage right now.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, that was such a beautiful play there, getting that hallucinated warp prism to pull all of the army units back there. Well done. So our players do need a quick little break here, but while they're taking a break, let's go ahead and talk once again about one of our sponsors. We mentioned them earlier, but we do want to make sure that you guys know how much we value G Fuel. We need to give a shout out to them. They are a huge sponsor of esports. Since 2004, as you said before, playing for those players, providing for those players like PewDiePie and Dr. Disrespect. They just do a huge thing. G Fuel ramps you up, takes your energy from 0 to 100 real quick, keeps you focused, makes sure that you have your eyes on the prize and that you can endure all of the games that you have to get through. Because let's be honest, StarCraft is a game of endurance. As the game goes on and on, you start to slip up here and there, and things start to get out of control, and you mistake a hallucination for a real thing, and there goes your natural. All right.
And of course, it's really important for us to actually let you know about these sponsors, because none of this will happen, and the StarCraft 2 scene, it may sound weird, but it is growing. With ESL deal, I think StarCraft 2 is in probably one of these best spots ever, and having many sponsors actually contributing into the scene is actually the perfect thing we were looking for to keep this game alive for a lot longer. And we've had these GSL codas, well, the one that just started a couple of days ago.
Oh, amazing games.
Yeah, aside from that, it was the 10 years anniversary of GSL, and I just find it beautiful that 10 years after we're still going strong, and we still have such a great games, great players, great viewership, and everything is working fine even in these dire days.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's, like you said, it's important to point out that this game, StarCraft 2 is 10 years old. Now, that's a little bit of an interesting statement just because of the fact that it's not just Wings of Liberty, right? Wings of Liberty came out 10 years ago. Heart of the Storm came out, then Legacy of the Void. But it's still a pretty old game, and the fact that it's still getting the huge support that it is right now is a real testament to how good of a game StarCraft is. Yeah. You talked about WCS. People were a little bit worried about WCS going away, but I think the ESL circumstance right now is amazing. Yeah, it's been great to watch all these games. So.
And I actually love that without the WCS circuit, right now the events spread throughout the year. It is more consistent. There is consistently more StarCraft 2, and I just think it's a very good thing for the scene overall. It's a very healthy thing as well to change a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of all of these changes and things like that, we're not seeing any changes from these players quite yet. We're seeing pretty normal openings, and let's go ahead and introduce them.
Of course, I will start in the top left side of Purity and Industry, where we can look at the base of the red Rhodos player. Hailing from Korea, playing for Alpha X, it is Zoun.
In spawning on the right hand side, in the dark shadows of the map, we have our green Protoss player trying to tie up the series and representing Archangel Gaming. It is Chance.
Well, the name of the map is Purity and Industry for a reason, right?
Uh-huh.
I actually love these are wraiths from StarCraft 1.
Mm-hmm.
These things over here.
Yep.
I really find it beautiful.
I actually didn't notice that until you just went. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, definitely. But I'd never really thought about what that icon was. And yeah, they're just upside down wraiths.
Yep. Well, on the other side, we have just these Stasis. Do you remember Stasis, the map?
Stasis. Oh.
Yeah. It was very similar to this one, with a lot of airspace in the middle and 2 bases, one in the top left and one in the top right. with a golden base at the third.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I think it's like the same template for the ground here in the top side.
Mm-hmm.
And I just
That makes sense.
like PvP Industries is just a beautiful map, right?
Yeah, I do. So there are a couple things that I take issue with it though. The fact that the map isn't quite symmetric.
Yeah.
It bothers me a very little bit. Actually, a little bit more than very little bit. I play Protoss, and a lot of my PvP games, and a lot of my games in general, tend to be we'll call it forge first openings, and finding little pockets to hide your cannons when you're making cannons in your opponent's base. The fact that the sides of the map are different, throws me every once in a while.
Yeah, it's a rough map to play on. It's not a very easy one. By the way, Stasis, it was the one with Amon in the middle. Like, that is probably the most significant thing I was not thinking about. Anyway, Zoun going for a Stargate opener. Once again, it looks like he very much likes this. And PvP Industry is as a good map as any to do this, right? Hallucinated Oracle will scare Zoun a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to make it the Oracle over the Phoenix, but most players choose the Phoenix, so when you see that Oracle roll in, especially when it's a lot earlier than it should be, I'm sure, Zoun's heart skipped a little bit of a beat.
Right? Also, probably once you see it, you think, oh my god, that's an Oracle, and then, oh, okay, it's this time into the game, it cannot be an Oracle, right? I think it's always like funny to try to trick your opponent, even if you know it won't make any difference. Just the mind games, sometimes it can like stress your opponent's mind.
Oh, for sure. Like we were talking about earlier with G Fuel, StarCraft is a game of endurance. I mean, we've been having pretty fast games. Protoss vs. Protoss tends to provide an environment for quicker games to occur. But when those longer games go on, every time that you can do a little bit of mental stress to your opponent, it just helps you out.
Yeah, of course. Okay, this Hallucinated Phoenix will not die, will scout everything, while Zoun is looking for a chance, no pun intended, to make some damage with his Oracle and Adepts. The natural over here is as good a shot as any, but I think there is a little bit too much green Protoss over here. Revelation being dropped in the natural, but Zoun will not get more than scouting information.
Yeah, I like that. He turned on the beam, tried to come in and take a couple of shots here, but realizing that he couldn't, pulls back. Now we have a little bit of an Adept skirmish here. Oh!
Yeah,
and okay, they are going to trade evenly. Oh, but this Oracle coming back for a fight that he probably does not want. The Stalker's showing up to help out their friend, or the Adept, excuse me.
It looks like Zoun will lose to Adept just for one. Not the biggest of deals, as long as he manages to do something with his Oracle, but he is not. Zoun with the suboptimal opener will not get any amount of damage. He has one Immortal out already, a second one is joining, while Chance not really making those key units. Charge is on the way though, and Charge is a scary upgrade.
Yeah, we see, a lot of Gately's getting thrown down here, as well as having his Twilight, or his Templar Archives coming out. So, looks like we're going to see a much more Gateway focus. Okay, well, I take that back. We have Robo-Betty going down. Caster Curse.
I think Caster Curse. But I think it's just for Wood Prism. I don't really think he will start making Immortals out of that Robo anytime soon.
Yeah.
He could be scared of the Immortal count of his opponent. Like, Zoun will be at 3 quite shortly. +1 ground weapons is going to be a little bit earlier for Chance. It won't really make a difference though, because none of the players is actually actively looking for a spot in which they can push forward. So overall, Chance will have the army supply, will start making Archons, and I actually think this game will revolve around Archon count. If Zoun is able to keep the Archon count for his opponent lower, as low as possible, I think he has a chance. Oh my god, I cannot stop saying this word.
It's one of those, once you start, it's just going to be subconscious,
Yeah.
you know? I do want to point out that was a really nice play. You know, Chance had left 2 Adepts at the third base of Zoun, just waiting, you know, to kind of scout, and he gets a free probe and delays the Nexus by quite a bit.
He's also going to see the army of Zoun moving out. I'm not too sure if Zoun wants to move out anyway. It looked like he is. But there are 2 Archons out. Charges down, Immortals, not the best units against Zealots.
Yeah, I mean, the Prisms here, we've got three Immortals and a bunch more Stalkers getting worked in. But we'll see if Zoun can push up here and try to make the cancel happen at the Nexus.
And Chance wants to play risky. This War Prism with 2 Archons in it is not really close to the fight. He's moving out in a pretty rough spot while Zoun chunks into his fur base. 1 Archon dies for free. This Photon Cannon will not do anything. And this Nexus will need to be cancelled. I think Zoun will need to use a recall. But if this gets into a straight up base race, Zoun wins because Immortals, right?
Yeah, Immortals are going to do huge amounts of damage to the base of Chance. So it'll be interesting to see if he tries to get a little bit more damage done before the recall happens.
If he wants to recall at all, actually. I'm not sure about this anymore. I mean, like, there are Zealots. Zealots have high DPS. They kill stuff fast. But Immortals, right? And
yeah,
this is straight up a base trade. Oh god. Of course, Zoun is already in the natural. Chance is getting the natural of his opponent just now. If the 2 armies clash one with the other, I think the army of Chance eventually wins. And it looks like this War Prism is trying to save some probes for Chance to put them in the island and maybe try to reconstruct something over there. But Zoun has 1 pylon in this third base. Oh my god, this game is a mess. Right now, Immortals are destroying the base of Chance. No pylon is up for him. There is 1 Nexus going on over here. But the War Prism of Chance has got some probes over here into the main of Zoun. So this is already looking very, very rough for the Red Protoss player. He has 1 probe over here trying to expand in the natural of his opponent. Oh my god.
Well, I think it's really interesting choice to go for the natural instead of the third. You know, the natural's been mined out a little bit.
I think it's a bad choice. I have to be completely honest because there wasn't a simulator over there, so Chance knows where this Nexus is.
Yeah. Now, Zoun still doesn't know about the island base. At this point, to his knowledge, it's just the one in his main. And so he's thinking, okay, the main has no minerals, whereas your natural has, you know, plenty. So I think that could be what his thought process is. But this Prism might just fly over and see it as it's trying to escape from the army.
I don't think he will go over there because Archons will just kill it. Oh my god, it was so close. So incredibly close.
All right, well, these players have completely swapped sides here. The Oracle also just kind of sitting live, so if Warp Prism tries to ferry some of those probes back into the secret base, you know, Zoun might get another shot at seeing that. But
I think there is a really important thing that I actually missed out before, and is that Zoun has Blink done. Chance does not. He can indefinitely blink and chip damage the army of his opponent. If he decides not to commit, this commitment would be incredibly bad. I mean, you can fight Zealots in a choke point. It's actually a good idea. But yeah, Zoun just wants to chip damage with Blink. Of course, these forces will be worth nothing. And this is like the army that has micro potential is always gonna come out on top at these high levels. Like, none of these 2 players can make any units whatsoever.
Oh, the Oracle still doesn't quite see it. It flies over and it has eyes on just the corner of the geyser there, but no simulator has been built yet.
Before Chance can actually start making anything with these kind of probes. It will be such a long time. It needs to mine 100 minerals, make up island, 100 minerals, make up island, and then it just needs to do this like forever. The Oracle finally sees it, and right now it can go on top of the Stalker if he decides to. There is not enough energy actually to do it, but Zoun knows.
Yeah, I think that was a beautiful save by chance, pulling as many of those probes up into the Warp Prism. I think he saved 4 out of the 5 that were there. But we should point out at this point in time, it's 4 workers to 3 workers. You know, this game is almost reset, but...
You know what? Like, Zoun is... Like, I cannot even stress how much ahead it is. Zoun is not supply blocked. Chance is as it a 46 supply block with 78 total supply. And Immortals are just going at it to this Nexus. Chance will not start making units anytime soon. And that's why he decides to fully commit his army into this one Stalker from Zoun. Will actually scout the army of Chance moving out. He wants to fight it into the choke point. There are enough force fields for Zoun to actually win this battle. But Archon count is something that you cannot discount at all. Blink is once again the turning point of this battle. As long as Zealots cannot fight because there is a choke point, Zoun has a chance. Oh my god.
I think it was really important that Zoun picked up those Immortals and brought them home. He didn't leave them to kill that Nexus entirely. I think every unit that he has in this fight is going to help, but just getting that chip damage, picking up. Okay, here we go.
Hallucinated Archons over here to block the Zealots from getting on top of the Stalkers. But the most important thing right now for Chance is that he has enough Archons actually pop the force fields that Zoun tries to create. But the force fields of Chance are also going to be worthless because Blink Stalkers can just get away. We have Gateway finally started for Zoun over here. He's going to get as many units as possible, and right now the army supply is slowly going in favor of Zoun, losing his first unit in quite a while. One Stalker actually falls down, but right now Zoun has no fear of fighting. There are Archons out, but his army is just stronger. Zealots have been destroyed by the army of Zoun, and we're looking at the Red Protoss ready to blink on top of the army of Chance. GG gets cold, and one of the most incredible PvP I've seen ends with Zoun's victory, getting to match point as well. And I'm not even surprised we have the highest viewer count for this stream right now, because
that game was intense.
That game was something. It was a sight to behold, and Zoun wants to play his first match point game on Golden Wall. Well.
All right.
That's an interesting choice of maps, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a PvP, so we can't really talk about like, oh, this favors one race over the other. All right, let's make sure we get everybody else. I mean, the players are both rearing, ready to go. We've got you in here. Are we waiting for one other? There we go.
Ready to get into the game.
Let's kick it off. Yeah, that was an intense game. I think, like you said, the blink was really good, and I really want to highlight, you mentioned it, but I don't think we gave it the weight and the importance that we should have. But instead of trying to go for force fields there for the first kind of engage, Zoun chose to hallucinate Archons, which I think is a much better usage of the energy, just because those Archons are going to block out some of those Zealots and function as force fields that aren't just going to get trampled by Archons.
Yeah. So that's another very interesting thing you mentioned over here. But we have another game to go through, and let's. Oh, I had the scores. Okay, now they're right. We have another game to go through, and this time is going to be even more important than before. Spawning in the bottom right corner of Golden Wall, you're looking at the base of the Blue Protoss, playing for Alpha X, sailing from Korea, currently at a match point. This is Zoun.
and trying to keep his hopes and dreams in this series alive. We have our bottom left red Protoss player representing Archangel Gaming. It is none other than Chance.
Okay, this map is a mess. It's a hot mess, and I love it.
You play Zerg, correct?
Yeah.
You mentioned. So I've been playing a few games, and every once in a while I'll see Zerg players, instead of going for the third out on the map, they just mine out the back and start taking those back bases.
Well, I do mind the back, but I do it because I want to send a ton of Zerglings into your main base. There is this one little trick you can do, like over here, you make an extractor at the pocket base behind the mineral wall, and you just send one drone, you mine the wall, then you send the drone into the extractor so that he has gas instead of minerals, and you can then send it back into the wall to mine out more minerals. So you can just destroy the wall with 2 drones, and that's just the nastiest stuff I've ever done in my life, I think.
Oh. Well, speaking of nasty stuff, we don't have nasty stuff. We have pretty tame stuff coming from both players this time. No Adept's gonna try to come in and kill off any of the 4 probes. Both of our Protosses electing to go for the more standard Stalker Sentry opening. And Chance throwing down that spotter pylon once again to try to see. Now Zoun is gonna reveal. Yeah, Zoun is actually gonna reveal one of the Stalkers. He's gonna walk past the pylon there.
Yeah, also once you show 1 Stalker instead of 2, like, there is no real way that Chance doesn't know the other unit is a sentry, right?
Yeah. Unless he's trying to like super mind game and fake out, if he had 2 Stalkers, but that's, you're getting so meta at that point. I don't think players, they're going to focus on their games instead of.
And we also see Chance dropping down the Nexus in the natural, so I don't really think he was scared of anything. It was the standard Scout plus defense opener with a Stalker and Sentry. We'll see Hallucinated Phoenix coming to the base of Chance. So everything is going according to plans for both players, but we already have the first change over here in the production tab, because the robot being dropped by Chance is going to be quite a lot earlier compared to the one of Zoun. Not that it will make a difference in the long run, but it means like Chance is playing a little bit crispier, right?
For sure. Well, it could be that, or I'm wondering, the Hallucinated Phoenix for Zoun comes in, immediately sees that robo, and then when Chance sends his, at first he comes into the main, doesn't see any tech structure. The only reason he was able to spot it is because he turned around out there.
Yep.
So it could be crispness, but it also could be Zoun trying to just conceal his tech a little bit longer from the Hallucinated
it makes
Phoenix.
A lot of sense. Yeah, also because like his Forge was quite a little bit later compared to one of his opponents as well. Chance will not start doing anything out of his Forge yet. He doesn't have the resources to do so. Okay, ground weapons +1 starts immediately after I said this.
Players always like to make us, okay.
To make the caster look stupid, right? Like it's their job after all.
Of course.
Oh my god, look at this Adept. One Adept actually bugged out, I think. Like, it bugged out between these minerals and the force field, and it wasn't able to do anything.
Oh, that stinks. Now, if Zoun was watching his hallucination instead of his Adepts, he would have seen this warp prism coming over from Chance, and it looks like the Stalkers are in place. So I think he was paying attention to both of those things as they were going on. The players have an amazing ability.
Also, you kind of know, right, that this will happen. So you just place your Stalkers over there because there is no better spot to have them.
Yeah. We'll deflect the 2 Adept warp prism.
He's still scouting for Chance. He has seen one of the Immortal of Zoun coming out, I think. The army count right now is very, very similar. We see Zoun diving a little bit more into Stalkers, so he's going to have the strongest army. But the Adepts can deal a lot of damage if left uncontested.
More Adepts coming into the main. Oh, three of them getting trapped. Oh, but picked up by the Warp Prism. Beautiful save there by Chance, not letting those go down.
Also, like, Zoun used a lot of resources to trap those. Like, 3 force builds. That's a lot of energy.
Yeah. Now he does still have, one that has a fair bit, so he can continue sending hallucinations across the map to keep tabs on his opponent.
And this move is also very good from Zoun. One Warp Prism pinned the other over here because Stalkers shoot up, Adepts do not. Plus 2 ground weapons on the way for Chance. He is looking for doing some damage because with Templar Archives, those Archons are just gonna deal so much splash damage with plus 2 ground weapons. And Blink, this time Chance learned his lesson. He knows how important Blink Stalkers are. And what I would really love to see from Zoun, if he manages to scout this, is Disruptors. But that's a long way to get tech into Disruptors. I think he has to rely on Charge Lots and Archons for the time being.
Hallucination scouting from Chance has been on point. He does see this gold base going down for Zoun. Zoun's still unaware of the secret third that Chance has taken, but he does know that those minerals have been mined out, so he might have an inkling that something has gone down.
Yeah. But, once you start mining from this base, it means you have something in mind, because there is just one gas, and there is a golden mineral patches. So it means you want to go heavy into Zealots, right? Oh, these Archons are almost going to get the Warp Prism being leapfrog forward. They will get the Warp Prism. These 2 Immortals will not survive over here because Recall is on cooldown for Chance after recalling his Warp Prism with the Adepts. And right now Chance is probably cursing himself, thinking, why did I recall that Warp Prism? Chance so behind right now, losing 1 Warp Prism and 2 Immortals means that Zoun can just walk through the map just before plus 2 ground weapons is done. And it is gigantic for Zoun. He can end the series right here. There are 3 shield batteries in the natural and the ramp. This is not an easy going, but Zoun has a crazy big advantage.
Yeah. Chance is going to try to draw Zoun back by, disrupting the mining at this gold base, but I think it's actually just going to prompt Zoun into going up the ramp. And here goes the battle. Zealot's getting in the front. There's Templar in the front line there, not turned into Archons quite yet, and no Storm on the way. Warp Prism elevating some of the Archons up here, bringing more Archons from the back up into the front, bringing the Immortals up here, and he's just slowly tearing his way through. All the shield batteries are out of energy, and it looks like all of the army has just about fallen at the front for Chance, and pretty much all of the army for Zoun is still here, alive and kicking. More units getting warped in by Zoun. And those Stalkers that were harassing have finally come back, but I think the 2 Immortals are going to make quick work of those. And good game. Zoun taking this match and taking the series.
Quite a good fashion to take it. I think Chance played a very good series overall. The games were pretty close, at least most of them, but this time his mistake was just a little bit too big for Zoun not to capitalize on it. And I have to say this, like, what a series from Zoun. Each and every move was so good, so clever, so... I think, like, he won every single engagement micro-wise. The games he lost, like, it wasn't up to micro, right? It was up to just doing some things a little bit worse than Chance. But the micro from Zoun, this game has been insane.
Yeah, very well played. And all of the little mind games, things like when those Adepts tried to go up and around, he knew that they were going to try to do that. And so positioning his Stalkers in the right spot, like every little thing like that just adds up. And I think ultimately it was able to lead to him taking the series. I
really like how he played this slow, like, the kind of players I like more in StarCraft are those players that kind of avalanche through the game. They take some really small advantages early on and they just slowly capitalize on it, knowing what move will grant them a little bit of an advantage after what they did. And I think this was just the show that Zoun has made for him, like just being a little bit more clever than Chance in the series and just taking a little bit of a step forward each game in being able to deflect what Chance was trying to do every game in the early game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, very well played by both players.
Yeah, indeed.
I think it was a great series. I think that Purity and Industry game had to be my favorite of
Yeah, of
of
course.
the entire one. At least the most extreme and crazy game. But yeah, I do want to thank our players for coming out here, giving us a great show to watch. Let's give a shout out to the admins who helped put this together. You know, Sushi, like all the people behind the scenes, making sure that all this great content is being made available to all of you. And yeah, is there anything else you can think of?
Well, you can tell the viewers where they can find you, and I will do the same after you.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely find me. I will be streaming. I stream most days, sometime around 3 in the afternoon Pacific time on Twitch. It's going to be just Twitch TV/it's F=MA, so ITSFEQUALSMA. I'm currently on the cusp. I'm trying to break into GM for the first time. I'm at 4.9K right now, so slowly making the grind up.
Well, you can find me instead on the twitch.tv/econtestes. You can find me on Twitter as well, mostly talking about Alpha X and our stuff, of course. Like, I just live for this team. Like, casting is my passion, and I just will keep on doing this on this channel. If you want to take a look at my stream, I mostly play trading card games. I play a little bit of StarCraft. If you're into Legends of Runeterra, I'm a Masters player over there. But it has been everything for today, guys. Thank you very much for joining us into this incredible series. I want to thank again, after FeePlesMA did it, I want to thank again the admins, the team, the players, and the sponsors, especially Match Arena as well. And we'll see you next time. It will be quite early. I think we have Alpha X screens on Tuesday, I think. Yes, on Tuesday.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Be sure to just go ahead and follow the channel, and you'll be able to see all the great content.
And subscribe if you want to do it as well.
Yes.
We'd appreciate it. Once again, !! Match Arena to put out a Match Arena code and contribute to the prize pool for free with the code APS 161. But for now, it has been all. We'll see you back at the next stream. Thank you very much for joining.